express your thoughts. I go express my thoughts. I go express my thoughts. To make you express your thoughts. I go express my thoughts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Wyattsdot edition of Dots Express. I am your host, Mimi Bonnie. You can find me on IG at Bonnie with 3 I's _ X. And I'm going to let our guests today to introduce themselves. They're going to come back and then we're going to get talking.
Hey, y'all. I'm King Rosada. My Instagram is King_Rosada. And I'm happy to be here.
Oh, I'm happy to have ya.
Thanks for the invite.
Hey, my name is Kofi K. KOPHY_K1 on Instagram. Great.
Thank you, guys. And if at any point today, if you want to join the conversation, all you have to do is scan the link down below or call the number down below, and you should be able to join in our chat room. If you also want to follow us on social media, we're on all platforms at wyattsdotproduction. So we can get straight into it. So today our topic is the pressure to keep up. Are we falling behind? I feel like we all feel like, we also have someone in the chat room right now. Blacko, if you want to say hello.
Yeah, hello guys.
Hi, thanks
my name is
for
Blacko. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna do your IG, but it's fine.
No, it's fine, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for being on here. So, we're in a we're in a reality where we feel like we're in a race, guys. Where are we going? Where are we running to?
I don't know the bus stop. I don't know where we're going.
Like, we don't know if it stems from ourselves, from our society, or from family, but that's what we're here to talk about, the hidden causes of feeling like we're left behind and how we can overcome that in this generation. So my opening question is going to be like, what does keeping up mean to you personally?
That sounds like a competition in a way. The moment that you just saying keeping up, what are you keeping up with?
Yeah. Who are you keeping up with?
Ooh.
Probably maybe your goals, because we all do set goals for ourselves, maybe by the end of the month or by the end of the year. In 4 years, I should have my diploma. In 3 years, I should have this. So you being able to achieve that is like you being in track, But when you're not able to do what the goals you set for yourself, is like, my God.
That's definitely a good perspective, because I feel like when we say like keeping up, most of the time we think about like keeping up with other people, not like keeping up with ourselves and like the goals that we set for ourselves. But when was the time that you felt like you were falling behind in life, I would say? And Blacko, you can pitch in at any time. Just let me know. Yeah.
Have you ever failed an exam before? Have you ever?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, it happens whenever you're not ready to lose something,
Yeah.
It's like when you're up to something and you think, no, I have to get this the right way. Or, okay, I have a time frame for this. I have a limit to this thing. Then you're not able to get to your limit, or you're not able to surprise your time or whatever. That is when you start to feel like, oh my God,
I'm falling behind.
Yeah, I thought I was a winner, Yeah, but there's a lot into it. Most people start to feel that same way differently. But to me personally, is when like I have a target and I'm able to meet that goal. But I think I'm getting better when it comes to that, because I realize if you fail on exams, it's not like you're a loser,
I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're not a loser to fail on exams, because you think about it, you've been in school for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
You have a lot of things in your mind that you've learned from like your lectures or whatever, right? So that exams alone doesn't make you a loser,
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it's just a test of a time. So yeah, so I've worked hard to realize a lot of things. So if I have to get to destination in 3 hours and I'm not able to make it in 3 hours, I'm not a loser.
Okay.
Because I still made it. So,
True.
yeah.
True.
So it's a big mind game.
Yeah, but was there a time that you felt like you were falling behind in life?
I would say probably when I first moved to Cincy.
Oh, definitely moving to a different city.
The pressure.
Yeah. Because, coming from a reality where you knew where you headed, what your expectations are, or, you have friends, family up there, and then relocating somewhere else and starting
completely
scratch,
different. Oh, yeah.
You know, and
But
then you
you're
see
shocked.
everybody that
Mhm.
you've been around moving forward with their
Mhm.
lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you having to start from scratch, that puts a certain type of pressure.
I feel you.
On someone.
Like it makes perfect sense because I moved from Ghana, I think, in the year 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
And most of the people that I grew up with
Mhm.
doing this, like most of them had their bachelor's in 2 years after I moved from Ghana. And I look back, I was like, bro, so I have to start over. Like I'm now even trying to find a skill to like elevate my transcript and all that,
Yeah.
evaluate my transcript. So I was like, bro, like this is too much for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had their bachelors and stuff like that. But I look back and I'm like, bro, I was just like disturbing my soul, my mind, like.
Mhm.
But we're human, so it's normal because we don't actually see what is in front of us until
Yeah.
it happens, you know.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
a similar story as well, I guess. Like when I moved from Ghana to come here, I got put back a grade because I guess like the age difference and like
Yeah.
Mhm.
how it's structured, I got put back a grade. And even I remember even in middle school, I was just thinking like, wow, when I get to college, I'm literally gonna be behind. Like all my people in Ghana are gonna be graduating before me. Like, and that was like probably the only time I really felt like I was gonna fall behind in life because I'm like everybody's gonna be ahead of me. Like that's not fair. But honestly, you know, I caught up and I'm probably ahead. So.
Trust me.
I don't think you caught up. I think you
Bro,
made it.
true. I didn't.
You made it in the
catch up
time that
'cause
you were.
I was
meant to.
supposed to
Yeah.
make it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blacko, do you have a time where you were falling?
You just
felt
have
like
to
you were
understand
falling
the
behind?
doings of the Lord. If you understand the doings of the
True.
Lord, you stress less.
Yeah.
You have
True.
less pressure.
True.
Like, Lucky, you have something? Because I have a lot to say right now.
No, you can go ahead. You can
Okay,
go ahead.
so what is making it more crazy these days, right?
Mhm.
Trust me, is this social media thing, because it is having a lot of crazy impact on
Yeah.
on the people, because we all want to move out at the age of 18, 19, be independent on all that. We trying to like have a good job at the age of 22. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we make a lot of expectations that is not even, like in reality is not even possible.
See, the big question would be, whose expectations are those? Is it our own expectations, or is this somebody else's expectations onto us?
Mm.
That's the biggest question,
Yeah.
right? Because at the end of the day, social media, although social media is there,
Mm-hmm.
is the biggest influence of our generation, I would say.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know,
Biggest, yeah.
Let's say somebody made it at 18 by being a streamer, example, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everybody, there was a season where everybody just wanted to do YouTube. I don't know if everybody,
I feel like it still is for
Yeah,
the
it
kids.
is.
Like
No,
they
honestly,
still want to do.
it's not as bad as back in 20s, like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Everybody that when DDG first came out,
Yeah.
like, that's why everybody wanted to do YouTube.
Is that when you buy your camera?
What does my camera have to do with this? My little cool pics camera, please. No, that was like
It's
2
too
years
old.
ago.
I think you tried to
Whatever.
You know, and the pressure
Mhm.
of seeing what everybody else is doing, when we incorporated that into our own lives, and we think that that's also meant to be our destiny, when in
Exactly.
reality we're supposed to be doing the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And we don't realize that because we're focused on what somebody else is doing
Mhm.
instead of focusing on what we're supposed to be doing.
Makes sense.
And I think it has to do a lot with culture too. You were saying like, oh, over here you have to be moved out by 18 and stuff like that, but it's really because you're living in the culture. So also like your algorithm is going to show you pretty much where you live at.
Mhm.
If you live in a different country where that was not normalized, you probably wouldn't feel the pressure to be doing the same thing that everybody around you is doing here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's definitely like just the culture that
But-
you're in influences that a lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree with you, but also disagree at a
Mm.
point, because I feel like most of the people around here, we call the pressure onto ourselves. We just want to leave home.
But that's their culture here, though. Like
But-
honestly,
yeah.
like the American culture
That
here,
is
like
true.
you can
Okay.
what age can you start drinking, like 18 or something?
20 here,
Yeah,
21?
like 21.
Yeah.
Like it's the culture. Like when you turn 21, you
Oh,
can
okay. Understand that,
when
yeah.
you get to a certain age, you can move out. Like that's just how they are here. So
Yeah, makes
they it kind of changes them in a way. They feel like they need to grow up fast and they need to like move out fast and build their life fast over here. But
Yeah.
that's not how it is in every country. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's actually facts. Mimi, what you just mentioned is actually true because I remember at some point in life, I would say I was around 18, 19 before my family moved to Cincinnati before me, of course. You know, they all were like, oh no, let's move to Cincinnati together. Me and my older brother were like, nah, we want to get our own place. We want to do our own thing.
Your horsepower was high.
You know, I was like, okay, you know, I got myself a nice corporate job. I'm very young, you know what I mean? And I thought, all right, I made it. You know, I feel like I can get this done.
Yeah.
You know, but then certain realities just started happening. You get what I'm saying? When life really caught up to me, I was like, Jesus, you know? And at the end of the day, I ended up doing what? I moved exactly where my family was because I wasn't ready to take that step.
Yeah.
My parents told me I wasn't ready to take that step, but because I thought everybody else around me was making that move, I also had to make that move.
Yeah.
It's all about timing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Your timing is not God's timing.
Okay.
You have to know your horsepower.
Preach, Pastor Bona. Oh, you guys don't know, but I was a pastor.
I'm really not a pastor, y'all. I did it one time at a fake wedding. One time. But no, it's true.
Fake wedding, fake pastor, please.
We're going to take a quick break here and let you guys know April 19th, get your ticket, get your outfit, get everything ready. The Iron Boy himself, Black Sharif, is going to be at the Forum April 19th. So make sure you grab your tickets. You can inbox us or you can hit up Big Sam on Instagram for all your tickets and any questions that you have. So Wyattsdot Production is going to be there. So make sure you come say hi.
Kofi K is going to be there.
Kofi K is going to be there performing. So make sure you come say hi. Okay, we're going to move on and break it down a little bit. So more of like the cause and effects of how we feel the way we do now. So how do family expectations shape our sense of success or failure when it comes to like falling behind? Because we talk a lot about social media expectations, like, you know, what we're seeing is what, you know, is being imprinted on us, but we're not. What about family?
It depends on the type of family you're from, because in African home, like, you'll be more relaxed.
Yeah.
I don't think you run out of your homes.
Give me just a second.
Okay.
Marcus said, what is the topic tonight though? We're talking about the pressure to keep up. Are we falling behind?
So Michael, let us know if you are.
Marcus.
Oh, Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was I saying? I was talking about
different families.
Yeah.
Different families in different homes. Because when you dive deeper into the Ghanaian community, like because I'm from Ghana, so I know much about the Ghanaian community. Our parents, they just want us to make sure we are okay before we leave home.
Yeah.
And whatever that you do that they feel like is not gonna help you, they'll let you know. They'll step in and they'll tell you, hey, I did this at this age, I did this, and this is what happened, and this is what happened. So it grows your mind, you know. So as you said earlier, culture-wise. So when it comes to the African community, I think we do a great job. We don't really pressure kids out that much, but it's just that the American culture and the other foreign cultures is trying to let us think that no, we have to move, we have to do this, we have to do this.
Okay, I agree with that, but I also feel like
I disagree.
it kind of contradicts itself, right?
Yeah, I disagree to a certain degree.
Because of course, like they want us to stay at home till we're comfortable, especially the girls. You know, they want you to stay at home till you're married, but also they want you to be a lawyer, they want you to be a doctor, they want you to be this, they want you to be that, they want you to be this. They want you to be successful. They want you to have a job. You know what I mean? So it's like you're still going to feel that pressure even in that house.
So once again, depends on the family.
Of course. But I'm saying like, yeah, Ghanaians, Ghanaians have that culture, but it's a very contradictive culture, you know, because I definitely live in it. And I definitely feel like I get that pressure on me. Like, yeah, I'm staying home, but am I at peace with all this? You need to be successful. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Honestly, again, it kind of goes back to what we were both saying, Kofi, in the beginning, right? We are taking on somebody else's expectations, and that creates a pressure onto our own life.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know, living in an African home, I am grateful for everything that I've learned from my parents. However, the pressure that they put on me about what a successful life is supposed to be delays certain what's the word here that I'm looking for? It delayed certain outcomes of certain situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not rebellious or anything like that, but you know, the more I felt the pressure coming from my folks, the more I felt like delaying what they expected out of me.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
they
gonna take
wanted,
my time.
they wanted to do something. Yeah, they want. It's like they want their projections and their experiences to be our own. And
Yeah.
we're living in two different times.
And we're two different people.
Two different people, two different mentalities.
Yeah.
You, when you were 25 back then, you get what I'm saying, you probably were struggling to make a hand, but 25 over here in America, we're living a decent life.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
15
And
years, you have a car.
you get
Yeah.
a car back home at 25, unless your parents got money.
It's not
Yeah.
25, bro. If your dad is buying money at the age of 40 and 50, so
Pretty much. You get what I'm saying? So it's like our parents' pressure or expectations became a
Mhm.
pressure onto our own lives. And subconsciously, we are living their expectations. We're not even living what we're meant to do.
yeah.
Blacko, do you have anything to say? The Kelvin said he wants to hear from you. They say they want Blacko, please.
Yeah, so I agree with what Kofi K was saying, but like I feel like the African home thing, they're not gonna say it, but the way they act, it's like they're putting pressure on you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what Kofi K was saying, that it depends on what family you come from and all that stuff. But you know, the African home, they're not gonna say a word, but like the way they act
Do
towards you,
we look at you if
yeah,
you're falling
that's what
behind?
yeah, you're gonna know you're falling behind.
A lot of
Yeah.
comparison. Right? Antenna ban.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah, like the antenna ban. Yeah, so I feel like family is a real big thing to like putting pressure to keep up and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you see your cousin? He finished school already.
Hmm.
Why haven't you finished yet?
Hmm.
Oh, you see this one?
Hmm.
He's doing this. The son of such and such is doing this. Why are you comparing me to somebody else's kid?
Exactly.
But think about it. Like, it's so crazy. You know, it's like they'll go and meet at African store and have a conversation to mother, and they'll come back be like,
a 2-second conversation.
so the pressure is from
The
the
African
colleague.
Yeah. They might not be getting the social media pressure, but they're getting it from real
From
life.
somewhere.
And they're gonna
Domestic
come they're gonna come put the pressure on you.
It's
crazy.
coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
They don't admit it too. They make, and they're our parents are very, very tricky, you know. I love them to death. They're watching this, and I apologize if I say anything out of pocket ahead of time.
You're gonna meet them at home.
I am gonna see them later on tonight. But
Mhm.
you know, it's one thing for you to have expectations for your own kids,
Mhm.
for you, and it's another thing to have expectations for your children because someone else's children are doing it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's not helping your kids.
it's not healthy.
It's not at all. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's and our parents don't even believe in therapy either. So that's out of the window.
Hey,
You know
African
what I mean?
home. What is depression?
What is- What is depression? Mom, Dad,
let's talk
who's
about the comparison. So do you guys think comparison is inevitable, or is this something that you can train yourself to stop?
I think you can train yourself to stop. I don't necessarily think you have to constantly do it. The moment that you realize that you're your only competition, that's the moment that you attain certain levels in life.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay, I think comparing is not bad, depending on the angle that you're looking at. You know, I think you have
You never heard comparison is the thief of joy.
like, you know, everybody has their own point of view.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, depending on their point of view, because you have to compare something to know how much sugar is in one and how much sugar is not in one.
Yeah.
You know? So let's say if you were in class and you compare your studies to the other person, not to be jealous of,
Yeah.
but to motivate you
Mm.
to learn.
Mm.
That's the view that I'm coming from. So there's nothing wrong with you comparing yourself. Like, if I compare myself right now to Elon Musk, like, I can tell, like, bro, I'm far behind. Like, I need a lot of money,
Mhm.
but I shouldn't be jealous. I
Yeah.
should just pray and work hard. Like, no, he did it, I can do it. You know, keep that as motivation to build up, but not to be evil.
But is that realistic though?
Yeah.
Because when it comes on to, again, what you're saying is perhaps that is your testimony, right? It's who you are and what you live by, right?
Yeah.
But as human beings, when the moment that you start comparing, majority of the time, at least that I've seen, comparison always comes with a certain type of jealousy.
I agree.
No matter what you're saying. Oh, that person is doing this and that. Oh, let's compare. That comparison, it creates a certain type of jealousy that you may not admit to yourself, but it's there.
If you are happy for the person, I don't think you will be jealous.
If you're
happy,
you can be happy. But you put that pressure onto yourself as well at the same time because you want to attain that level, even though it's not your time to attain that level yet. So that
Because
creates jealousy.
because I have colleagues that I do music with, right?
Mhm.
And I love to see them move more forward, because they open the gate for us as well.
Right.
So if I see them making the numbers and the gates, I'm happy because I'm like, bro, then it's easy. You can also teach me how to do it,
Right.
So it's not that I'm jealous, but I also see it like, oh, wow, if he is able to do it, because sometimes once something's within your circle and it doesn't go out of your circle, you don't know how powerful it is. So if you're my friend and we're both doing music and now you are making numbers, meaning what we're doing is worth it,
True.
It is valuable. So instead of me being evil, I'll just be humble and learn. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, my question, right?
Mhm.
Is it realistic? Does everybody live by what you're saying right now?
Definitely not.
Like actually it works for me because like I keep that motivation. So if you drop a song and you're making numbers, like you motivate me to learn hard and be like, oh, look how he did that. Oh, that's so deep.
I guess it's all
learned.
about the about the mindset of the person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like I think it's inevitable. Like there's gonna be a point in your life where you're gonna compare yourself to somebody or something. So it's definitely inevitable. But like you said, if you have the right mindset, you can use that as motivation, or you can sit there and sulk about it. So
and also like let me say this. If you don't have the right mindset, don't do that because it also depends on what values to you.
But it's not even like don't do that because it's inevitable. It happens. Like I feel like it like this is something that happens to it's a natural reaction. Like you see somebody, you see these Instagram models, you're like, wait, let me go look at my picture again. Am I not a bad, I might think or not. Like, you see somebody else getting the same reactions and recognitions for something that you've done the same, or you feel like you are better at. It's inevitable that you're gonna compare, But as long as you have the right mindset that, you
don't have to be evil.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah. But as human beings, our natural instinct dictates or pushes us towards evil. I'm just saying, we think about probably darker things more than positive things.
Hey, Pastor Bernard, what have you been thinking
no. Again, not me. You'll get upset, but it's facts. You know what I mean? Us humans, we are more pessimistic majority of the time than optimistic.
Yeah, negative takes more.
You get what I'm saying? It takes a lot more to be positive compared to negative.
For sure.
Especially when things are going wrong in your life.
Oh, it's so easy.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you get yourself out of that position to change the outcome of whatever it is that you're trying to do?
How does capitalism and hustle culture feel this pressure? Capitalism. Everything's so expensive now.
Eggs $7.
It's like, how is everybody affording everything?
Honestly, it all kind of goes. I'm not gonna touch on politics right now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna touch on politics right now, but all kind of it goes back to big corporations. Example. You know what I'm saying? Let's say somebody goes to school for 4 years, you get a master's degree or whatever.
You're struggling to get a job. Yeah.
You know what I mean? In today's market, you get what I'm saying? Being in the field that I'm in, I see these things in real time, right? Rate of unemployment goes higher and higher. Majority of them are college graduates, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know what I mean? And it sucks, but it kind of gives us a perspective, right? I would say the norm that what's the norm is you graduate high school, you graduate college, you get a job, you get married, you buy a house,
you live happily ever after.
That is
American dream.
That is the American dream.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean?
But you have to think to survive in today's world, you're gonna have to think outside of the box.
For sure.
I'm not saying the college degree is a bad thing. No, it's a great thing. You get what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure we all have it over here, but you shouldn't be putting all your eggs in one basket. That's what I'm saying. I would say make sure that your experiences are up there because your experience is what's really going to open doors for you. I've seen it multiple times. To this day, I still see it.
So, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So what advice do you guys have for somebody who is trying to set up a small business?
Please, we'll get there. We'll get to advice for pressure.
Okay.
We'll get there. Marcus said, LOL, positive jealousy can make you go harder or push harder, though no bad man things. Yeah, for sure.
True.
Yeah.
Positive jealousy. That's different.
And Jojo Rosado said the men. Are you trying to say the men feel more pressure
That's
or?
probably my dad.
But
Yeah, I definitely think capitalism and hustle culture plays a big role because, like you said, you've graduated, you feel like, oh yeah, like I'm going to the job market, like this is the time I'm supposed to be soaring high, and then it doesn't happen, and then you see somebody on stream for 24 hours making 50 times
imagine
what you're probably making if you actually did get the job. So it's like the pressure is there for you to either do that or be a hustler.
100%.
Yeah,
I think education also plays a role because most of the things that we do, we don't really make a lot of research and know more until it gets to the point where we feel like, oh my God, I shouldn't have studied this, But
so, like that's true, but it is also not because, like he said, it fluctuates. Maybe at the time that you be landing.
Yeah. Let me end my point. Yeah. So, for example, right?
Yeah.
You love IT, right? And you start your IT journey, and then you start doing IT. And you get all these bachelors. Then after thinking, oh, now I have this, I'll be able to make 6 figures. I can do this. Then you realize that no, you need a clearance. So without a clearance, then you cannot do the job that you actually want to do. So if you knew this before, you'll be ready for it.
I definitely agree that
you're not prepared to it.
But I agree that information and knowledge is definitely like correct. But at the time when they were doing the research, like IT was was something that was supposed to get them into the field that they were supposed to get in. Exactly. So they did that. So I like of course like people miss information all the time, but it's still not fair that after they're not able to get the job because like
it's not that you have a job, but you will not have what you expected. That is the point.
Yeah, that's fine. But we're talking about the people that can't even get nothing at all. After the degree.
Yeah, but the thing is, like you're talking about fairness, right? What really in this world right now is fair? Let's be real.
Nothing.
You get it? Let's be real. College graduates. Let's use the IT. Or whatever. I have a lot of friends that are in IT right now, and majority of them literally tell me, if you know anybody that wants to go into IT, tell them to focus on their certifications first before they focus on
coding. Yeah.
Because certification, there's practice, there's quizzes that you do, there's practical things that you do in order to create that experience that you need in order to go into a field.
They care more about that.
I know people that take 3-month courses. Right now they're making over 140 grand a year.
And that's what I'm talking about. So, back in, let's say about 4 or 5 years ago, everybody thought the degree was what was going to get them into the field. Yeah. And now it's like everybody's saying certification.
100%.
Exactly. So it's like back, they thought they were doing the right thing back then, but the thing, it fluctuates all the time. So you can't be certain. So they definitely feel the pressure. Oh, I got the degree. I was supposed to at least make it somewhere, but now it changed, and like you're definitely gonna feel the pressure, And somebody's doing certification and getting 6 figures, like the pressure is definitely there. Yeah. So,
but it's not my it's not my problem that you're not advanced though, because it's not.
Nobody's saying that, but I'm saying we're talking about the pressure that people feel about these things. So you're definitely going to feel that pressure. Like, hey.
After this school loans,
I thought I did my research. I got my degree.
It's not going away either. And you mentioned something very capital, Mimi. You said that a couple years back they thought that, all right, let's go to school, let me get my degree, and then I'll be able to get a job right after.
Yeah.
The lack of information is the reason why a lot of college graduates are failing.
For sure.
You're not keeping up with how the world is moving.
It's moving.
You still thinking, oh, I was supposed to. Who told you that you were supposed to do anything?
It's not my fault you're not advanced.
It's not. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And people get mad because they get mad. It creates jealousy, creates pressure, depression. So far, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Yeah.
Corey Bryant said degrees don't matter anymore.
Yep.
I would definitely say some degrees.
Well, if you're gonna go into law,
some degrees, some degrees,
or you're gonna be a doctor.
Doctors, like, you still need your degree. Yes. I feel like you still need the basic knowledge and information that college, provides, depending on the degree, obviously.
Yeah,
but education is important.
Yeah.
Period.
But if you do your research, and it's probably more beneficial for you to do certifications and things like that, then just go that route because that's still education. It's just
honestly, it's even biblical.
Even now that you're earning your certifications, advance yourself. Advance yourself. I know we'll come back to it. Advance yourself. Keep learning. There's nothing wrong with you having a degree after having certifications. Because the world can change again.
Plan B.
Yes. That's me. So, I have my degree and no certifications. Don't play.
Exactly.
Plan B. So, you know what I'm saying? You always got again. If we fail, it's because we lack knowledge, right? and it's biblical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody that knows, if you up there with
Lack of
Baba God,
information. Lack of
God said, "My people perish for the lack of knowledge." You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's biblical, why can we not incorporate that into our own lives and actually
I agree.
move with the time?
Yeah. Does age play a role in this?
Yeah.
This pressure that we're feeling?
Yeah.
Are the pressure
Yes.
different
Big time.
in your 20s and your 30s? Hey, when you're hitting 30 and you're like, where's your husband? Where's your wife? And beyond. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely does play a big part because.
Hey, Blacko, are you still in the chat room? Is there anything that you wanted to say? If he's still with us. You're on mute,
You're on
Blacko.
No, let's talk. I can't hear you.
Yeah, you're still on mute.
His network.
You said age, right?
Yes. Does age play a role?
Yes, age plays a big
Can you
role
hear me
into
now?
the pressure.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I think age that definitely play a big role. Big role. Like if you're on, like, let's say if you're on your early 20s, you don't have a big pressure like to make money. But when you hit like the middle 20s, like
The
25,
pressure gets
that's
west
when
side.
it hits you. Yes, because now you want to get everything for yourself. Like, oh, I want to rent for myself. I want to buy this car for myself. Get like stuff that you want to, not what your parent wants you. Like
Yeah.
whatever you want to. So I feel like age definitely play a big role when it comes to like pressure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I want to say something about what Kofi K said. Education is not really the keys to success for real.
Did I
That's
say
a
that?
lot. That's a lot of
What is the key to success?
No, you are talking about you need to get education,
Yeah.
education. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
definitely you need some education, but there's a lot of successful people out there that they didn't go to school, they didn't have
You
no
never need
education.
knowledge. I think that was like our
Yes,
main.
so you need knowledge. You don't need education. You can have knowledge based on wherever environment you are. You don't need to go to like a facility or school to like to gain education or knowledge. So I just wanted to like highlight that education is not really something that you need to be successful in life. You can just have knowledge, and to be successful is really like, I think it's grace. If you have grace, you can be successful. There's other people, they don't put in work, they don't put nothing, they don't put anything, no effort, because they have the grace of God. They just, things are just working for them,
Hey, you
So
need grace and actions. Definitely actions.
yes, you
Grace,
need grace and
actions.
and
Yes.
and knowledge to just embark on your successful life.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But also, education is important.
Yes. Prince Amir said, my superstar Black Hole, you're speaking facts. You're speaking facts.
Successful people. Okay.
Yeah, so back to age. I don't know if you guys were done talking about that yet.
No.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
You want me to talk
About age?
Yeah.
Well, age does play a big part.
Hmm.
100%. Because Blacko just mentioned something capital, right? The responsibilities that we had when we were in our early 20s or in our teens, you know what I mean? It's not what we have right now. The closer you get to 30, the more you start reflecting about life. Period.
It's just a fact. Like, because most of our frontal lobe develops between the age of like 20 and 25 going to 30. So it's like, even if by force something will click in your mind and make you look around like, Aish.
Yeah. Now
what am I doing?
Now you have to calculate exactly like, okay, I need to do this and I need to do this.
Yeah.
What is priority and what is not? Back then, you wasn't thinking about all that.
Oh.
Back then, I mean, I was, out downtown.
Young and dumb.
Downtown Cincinnati, you get what I'm saying? The Reds opening just happened, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Listen, I used to be at the Reds opening every single year since
You're lying.
Since I moved to Cincinnati. This year, I was like,
let me sleep somewhere.
I got off work, I went to the gym, I came home, I slept from 7 to 11 p.m. Yeah.
Bro.
It's all about, again, responsibilities and discipline. Also, discipline.
For sure.
Discipline for sure. I feel like that plays a huge role into how we develop as adults.
Yeah.
Today's society is putting a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Because they have everything calculated, you know. They're trying to make it like at the age of 20 you're supposed to do this, at the age of this, because I've heard a lot of people on different podcasts saying that if you are 25 years and you still live with your parents, you are useless.
I've seen that too. I heard about
I'm useless.
And you know, these are the kind of things or the kind of information putting pressure on people, letting them do things that they're not supposed to do, illegal stuff to make the money.
Yeah.
Like, you are not a loser. Once again, you are not a loser if you're still in your parents' house at the age of 25.
Yeah.
It's good that you get strong enough to make the next move than to just walk out on the street. Because trust me, it's not cool out there. So right now, don't let that pressure get into you. Don't let your age make you feel like, oh, Mimi is 25, she got a BMW, so I'm supposed to have a G-Wagon. Chill out. You don't know how much she's paying for that BMW. Yeah, so don't let things push you out. Like, age, it's not just a number, but it's a number. So think about it.
Esther L said this generation lacks discipline.
A lot.
A lot of them want it easy, you know. Like, they want to do the thing, but the discipline to actually do the thing is something that they definitely do lack. Esther.
We go based on how we feel. I feel like I wanna get a yacht.
Well,
then you go run your credit.
People gotta stop using that word feel. That's also a reason why we're making a lot of mistakes and creating unnecessary pressure into our own lives. Why do you gotta move with your feeling 24/7? Where's the logic behind it? Please make it make sense.
We're not
I feel no. I mean, it's a fact.
I think at the time, I wouldn't say you feel. You think at that moment. Whatever you feel, you think.
Well, people our age, people in our generation have a hard time thinking.
Yeah.
They go with whatever their mind tells them. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're making mistakes, and they know they're making mistakes, but they're still making those same mistakes.
Do you know what they say? Let's go with the flow.
Let's go.
Anyway, have you ever made a major life decision just to catch up? Make crazy. I mean, were you moving here not a major? I mean, that was to catch up.
That was one of them. That wasn't a catch up.
Yeah,
but I have made decisions just to feel like I need to catch up.
Yeah,
I feel like biggest one was the biggest purchase I think I made was my car.
Oh,
because I was one of those kids growing up that is like, all right, I want to drive the most expensive cars.
Yeah.
I want to do this, do that. You get what I'm saying? But I wasn't ready for that maintenance whenever it comes in. Back then,
you just felt like
listen, because once that oil change hits you with $400,
so start rethinking.
Then brakes, to change all your four brakes is like almost $3,000.
Yeah.
Then you start thinking like, okay, maybe I should have done this. So, kids, if you're watching, us grown-ups at this point,
we're grown-ups.
Be smart about whatever decision you make. Save money
before you move.
But I don't. We're moving is a little different because I don't think you're ever going to be 100% ready for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some things you just need to take risks.
Yeah.
And that's something that I give props to my dad, because me and my dad were two opposite things, right? He tells me you have to take risks, but I'm the type of person that I want to calculate every single outcome of everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he tells me I have to take risks. Because if you don't take risks, how are you going to know if that place is good, that place is bad, here is bad, here is good? You're not taking any risks.
Yeah. Let me see an example.
That's deep, though.
I think the only, like I said, like when I first came here, so probably like right after high school, like when I started college, I felt like I needed to catch up. So I definitely went through like a whole year of burnout where it was just like I was scheduling classes back to back to back because I was like, I need to catch up. And I definitely was like, I'm burning myself out. I need to slow down and do things like from my own pace. And like, if this is the time I'm supposed to graduate, then this is the time I'm supposed to graduate. That makes sense. So let's talk about like some major. Sorry. Go ahead.
You go on vacation, you come back and you see how much you spent out of your savings. Then you're ready to work overtime.
Arizona.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
You go and it's like when you're spending the money, you don't care at the moment.
But Arizona wasn't to catch up though. I feel like
You spend a lot of money, and after you come back, you look into your account like, bro, I worked so hard for this money, and now it's gone. Like almost half of this is gone. Then you're trying to catch up. Like, okay, I have this limit this time. Then now you need 2 jobs. You need 2 jobs. Now you have to sell your sleep, your time, whatever that your comfort zone. You have to be out of your comfort zone to make that they get up. You know?
Talking about like vacations, I definitely agree that some people definitely feel like they need to just because everybody else is doing it. You know what I mean? Like just to,
especially the island vacation.
Like everybody wants to take that one picture on the boat and on like I don't even know where that place is. Like everybody wants to do what everybody is doing, because they feel that pressure.
So now I'm thinking twice, because if I'm supposed to go on any other vacation, now I'm calculating stuff. I'm not taking the risk this time. I'm calculating it because now I know what to do. You know,
it's situational.
Because, it's so crazy. You go and you come out like, hey.
It's situational. I used to be the type of guy that I would listen. You call me, hey B, we out?
We out.
You know what I mean? I used to be out of town almost every weekend back in the day. Now you can call me, you can blow my phone up. Oh, let's go this, let's go that. I'll look at your text and I'll respond.
Man, I'll take a risk and go outside. Take a risk.
Who, me? Mama, outside is not safe, man. I'll stay home.
So let's talk about some of the common reactions. Because like I said, like I felt burned out. So that's like a common reaction from like feeling the pressure of like everybody else. So do you guys have any like
mentally drained?
I'll say depression,
anxiety. They say anxiety keeps watching me.
Lack of sleep,
overworking.
Health issues.
I would say I probably put myself on a spot for that one that I just mentioned. Lack of sleep. I'm the type of person that I keep on taking on work after work, but I never actually take a time to just like, okay, I need a break.
Take a break, you
know, because I feel like my work ethic speaks for itself. Like I do not call off from work, even when I'm sick. You're gonna see me at home on my laptop.
Do you sell your PTOs?
I don't. You'd be surprised. I have 5 weeks of PTO this year because it transfers over, right? So
is it on sale?
I'm not selling my PTO, but this year I'm actually going to do something with it because you have to take the time to rest. You have to take the time to pace yourself. Because you're not a robot. I'm personally not a robot, and I'm putting myself on blast because I know there's a lot of people like me out there that need to understand that it is not good for you. I have someone in my life now that is constantly in my ear, like, you need to take it easy. My future Mrs. R, you know.
Shout out to you if you're watching.
She's definitely watching. So, shout out to the lady because she's constantly in my ear. Love is very sweet, man. You just gotta find the right one. But, she's constantly in my ear and telling me to take care of myself. And everybody needs to learn how to take care of themselves. The pressure is not a good thing because it's going to drain you. It's going to suck the life out of you.
For sure.
And listen, it's not going to go away.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to live with it.
Yeah, just like comparison is inevitable. Like
it's not gonna go
fixing
away.
it.
You don't even know what the next government is gonna turn America into. Maybe gas is gonna move from 2 to 5.
Let's not even talk about
Blacko, did you have anything
let's not talk about politics right now.
What'd you say? Blacko, did you have anything to add? We'll come back to you if you don't. Oh, you do. Hi.
So as Kofi K said, health issues, like you're gonna be depressed like a lot.
This country suffers from depression.
You're gonna be like, damn, I need to do this, I need to do this. So you like overthinking. You go be like overthinking too much too. Like when you need to think about something that you need to do, you're not gonna be thinking about it. Like you're gonna be thinking about unnecessary stuff. Like your mind is not gonna be focused. Like you're gonna be everywhere. So I feel like the health issues, people need to look out for that too.
I agree. I feel like, again, the number one like unmedicated cause of a lot of people like committing suicide and things in this country is depression, and is definitely from the pressure of like seeing everybody else.
Yep. You're projecting your life onto somebody else's life. Why are you doing that? But then again, just like you mentioned, right? It's inevitable.
Yeah.
As much as we try to run away from it, I don't think there's enough running that you could possibly do to get away from.
Learn how to live
Feel-
with it.
If
just
you
gotta
have the right
adaptation.
mindset, yeah.
Adaptation.
But some
you know?
people just don't, you know. Does feeling left behind? This is our last question before we get to finding solutions. So we're gonna be wrapping up here soon.
Okay.
Does feeling left behind make it harder to appreciate your personal accomplishments?
1,000%.
For sure.
1,000%. Kofi, you wanna go first on that one?
No, you go.
We repeat the question one more time.
Does feeling left behind make it harder to appreciate personal achievements?
Yes, because you're looking at somebody else, but you're forgetting that 5 years ago you weren't exactly where you are now,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know how to be grateful for what you have at this very moment, at this stage of your life, at this season of your life.
Yeah.
You don't know how to be grateful for that because you're already thinking about tomorrow. Again, putting myself on blast out there because I do that a lot. You know, sometimes you just gotta slow down and understand that you're not competing with nobody else but yourself.
Yeah.
You're your own competition. That's the sooner you understand that, the sooner you're able to create the discipline, you'll be able to create the better traits for yourself where you're going to learn how to be more appreciative of where you are.
I agree.
There is this one song in the Adventist hymn.
Hey, are you gonna sing it?
Oh, I know. Count your blessings and see what the Lord has done for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, so sometimes you just have to sit down in tough times, when you have nobody, when you feel like things is getting out of hand. You just have to sit down and remember how you even got into the state in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
how
Mhm.
you got your visa, the things you went through to get, you know. So it's like, yeah, sometimes we don't even like jubilate when we earn those things that we need to earn, those stages, because we are more focused on the let's say we're more focused on that bigger thing, but we forget that we have to pass through these many ways to get to that bigger place, you know.
Yeah.
So we don't even thank God and jubilate when we earn these smaller ones, because we'll be like, this is nothing, I'm trying to get that one.
Yeah.
We are ungrateful.
Yeah.
Human beings are ungrateful. We are all ungrateful. Like there's no such thing as perfection.
You're good.
Perfection. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yet we are already thinking about what is tomorrow. Kofi, you mentioned the word. You mentioned earned. I don't think even the breath of life that we have, sometimes we don't earn it.
Exactly. But we don't see that.
You get what I'm saying? So you don't know how to appreciate that. You put unnecessary strain on yourself.
Yeah.
And then what? Depression, you want to kill yourself.
And we give some things, we give value to some things that are even sometimes do not worth the time at the moment, because you're going to work, you expect to make $150 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to work, you don't make you make 120. Mm-hmm. Then you're crashing out. But remember, you had the strength, you have the air. Mm-hmm. You were able to have a car to drive all the way to that job that you went. Mm-hmm. So just mark it as a bad day. Yeah. Come back home, pray, thank God, and go back again. Yeah. You don't have to give up.
I think I definitely agree with everything that everyone is saying, but I also feel like it's very hard for people to practice like the small wins, I call it, because you weren't probably a lot of people weren't brought up in that culture to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like if your parents are pressuring you to get a master's degree, most likely you're not going to accomplish when you make the dean's list the first semester. You know what I mean? Because you're so focused on the bigger picture, like you said. So celebrating the small wins is very difficult for you because it's out of the norm for you. Because
nothing.
Because you don't have anybody around you to teach you that.
That is somebody's aim.
Yeah, but you're saying remember that, but they don't know that because they weren't brought up in that culture to celebrate the small wins. They don't know that they can even do that in the first place. Like I look at like my parents and they just work. You know what I mean? Like they don't really take time for themselves because that's just the culture that they know.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like they can't think outside of that unless they. That's all they know. That's all they know. Yeah, like all they know. It's really hard for other people to step out and like, since we're talking about small wins, and celebrate the small wins because that's all they know is only how to celebrate the big things. And even that, it even gets kind of hard because they get there and they're like, this is what somebody else wanted from me. This is the pressure that somebody else put onto me to accomplish this. I can't really properly celebrate this. Okay. You know what I mean?
In case you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
Listen.
You can celebrate.
Everything is in stages. you have to move from level 1 to level 2 to
Yeah.
level 3 to earn that master's or whatever you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't pass level 1, what do you do? Reset.
Yeah.
So the fact that you don't have to go in for reset, you have to go to level 2 is a win.
Yeah.
So if you never knew anything about that, today you know.
Mhm.
Just jubilate.
So let's go to finance solutions. You guys seem to have the right mindset about everything. So, Blacko, did you want to say something?
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to add this too.
That's
Like,
good,
let me
Casey.
just play the devil advocate. Like,
Yeah.
in
Come
this
on.
right now. So I know why people don't celebrate the small wins
Mm-hmm.
because it's not what they want. It's what people like. Let's say parents,
Yeah.
like people want for them.
Yeah.
So they're not going to celebrate it. They want to get the big picture, like the big stuff itself. So if they get that, it's like, we cry and you're not my pet.
Yeah.
That's not what I want.
Yeah.
So why am I celebrating it? So that's what people be thinking. So it's not like they don't want to celebrate it. Like they do, but like shit. And then I'm paying to you. Why am I gonna put effort in celebrating something I don't want?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I feel like that's why people don't celebrate the small win because for a fact that if you like let's say if you wake up in the morning, you need to celebrate. You know that because because the breath that you're breathing in, it's not for you. You need to celebrate like, oh yeah, I'm awake. Like, even throw yourself a party. You feel me? But people don't do that because it's like the things that happen is like, oh okay, it's supposed to be there. Like let's say, oh, if I go to school and I get like let's say A+, it's supposed to be because I need to get A+ to get like a good grade, a good job and
Yeah.
stuff like that. You feel me? But because it's small, they don't want to celebrate. Yeah.
I agree. And even that, I feel like we're so lucky because we're talking through the perspective of Christians. We're so lucky to have the Bible and like be grown up in the right environment to know that even when you wake up, you have to be grateful for the breath that you're taking. But if we think about the other people that weren't brought up in such environments, like in atheist environments and things like that, what are they to be grateful for when they wake up? Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
That's what I say. In common sense, maybe you needed an Audi, but now you have a Chevy Cruise. The fact that you have something, you should be happy.
enough for you to be,
Yeah. So you don't have to wait until you have your Mercedes or whatever you call it, because somebody else. Wait, I'm on fire. Girl. Somebody.
No, I was saying you and this Mercedes and BMW.
Yeah. Because whatever that
to exist.
yes, I need those Mercedes, bro. So whatever that you think is less, that is somebody else's dream, somebody else's aim. So
Yeah.
you're living somebody's dream,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Max Webler said you can celebrate small wins in a small way, but if you want a big celebration for a small win, Masa go sit somewhere. Is it your celebration? If they want to celebrate big for a small win, is it your celebration, Max? So like I said, back to final solutions. Did we talk about the mindset shift? What mindset shift have helped you stop chasing external validations?
Understanding that you're in competition with yourself.
Yeah.
The moment that you realize that you're your own competition and you don't have to answer to anyone but yourself, you don't have to give anybody any satisfaction but yourself. I think that's the moment where you start thinking more of positive outcomes than anything and releasing some of this pressure that you feel. That'd be one thing for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the question again? Sorry.
What mindset shift have helped you stop chasing external validation?
Bro, everything just went off my head.
What mindset shift has helped you stop chasing the external validation from other people and from social media and things like that?
Yeah, I don't understand the question very well. I was thinking about something, then later on I started to listen to him. So yeah, one thing that has helped me more is me realizing that you don't have control over the world.
Yeah.
Because you can only do you. So if you submit your resumes to these jobs, you apply for these jobs, the only thing you can do is to pray and submit them.
Yeah.
For them to hire you, you don't have control over that.
Yeah.
So you do your part, you pray, then you watch it. So like me, I got to realize that why am I being stressing myself over this? Like I do not control this. I do not control this. I do not control this. Like, so why am I killing myself? Why am I putting too much pressure on myself? If I cannot control it, you know? So what can I control? Okay. Go to your work, come back, save money. So those things are the things that God has given to you at the moment to control. So don't worry or don't stress yourself about things that they unlock gates. Don't stress yourself. It's levels. When you get there, God will unlock it for you. If you're not there, focus on what you have. Yeah.
Max Webler said, I've always been with the mindset that everything would happen at the right time.
Exactly.
God's timing is not our timing.
For sure.
God will unlock it for you.
Yes. Prince said, comparison is the thief of joy. Being under pressure is a privilege, and it should be a reminder that the fact that you're challenged wherever you are means you're trusted, capable, and growing. Beautiful message. I agree. Blacko, did you have anything to say about that before we get to closing thoughts?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I agree with the dude in the middle.
Was that a
Yeah, so he was talking about you gotta watch yourself. You don't need to watch anybody.
Yeah.
You work on yourself, you don't have to make people validate whatever you're doing. So that's what I'm about to build my point on. It's true. Like if you watch yourself, oh, I want to get to this height. And if you are here, you something is gonna push you to get to here. So you don't have to listen to the world. You just be yourself. Like just focus on yourself. Don't listen to what anybody gotta say. Oh, if you have a Toyota Camry, just stay with your Toyota Camry. If you get there, as Kofi K said, God is gonna push. Whatever you get right now is like a key to another success.
Yeah.
So you gotta wait on your time. You don't need to rush or do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna get to closing thoughts. What is one key message that you want the listeners to take away? You can also drop anything that you have in the comments for us to read before we close.
So recognizing your emotions is the first step to address your issue.
Oh.
So you recognize that, then you find the cause root of it. Whatever it is, if it is age, if it is job, whatever it is, then you set goals and try to work it out.
Yeah.
But mind you, not just any goals, realistic goals, like goals, you know?
Yeah.
Not those that you know you cannot live in it. It's not possible. But you're still trying to like make it work, you know? Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And don't forget God.
Amen.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
I don't agree with Kofi K. Everything is realistic. Whatever you say can.
Anyway, go ahead.
Whatever you say can come through. So don't tell me it's not realistic. If I want to buy a Benz, it can come through. It's not yet my time. It's not yet my time. Yeah, it's not yet my time. Doesn't mean it's not realistic. But yeah, so my closing remark is that we just have to focus on ourselves. We don't need to think about people and about the jealousy thing and comparison. Yeah, you got to be jealous. If you're jealous, you got to get to the greater heights. If you're not jealous, it's not like being jealous that, oh, this person have it. No, you're being jealous that you don't have it. You get what I'm saying? So if you don't have it, you have to push it to get there because you are being jealous of yourself, not of the other person. Let's say if Kofi K right now is sitting like Kofi K have a house and I don't have a house, I still rent. Doesn't mean that I'm being jealous of him. I'm looking at where Kofi K is, but I want to get there and be more than Kofi K. That's not jealousy.
That's motivation.
Like me working hard to get there. Yeah, motivation. So I feel like jealousy and comparison, they go in hand in hand. You can't take one and leave one. You gotta be jealous too. You comparing yourself to somebody, you gotta be jealous too.
Positive
in a good
jealous.
way.
Okay, so
that's what I got.
Mia, let me clarify this based on what Blacko said. The solutions I gave is not concerned on their dreams. You know, I'm not talking about your dreams or what you have to dream, how you want to live your life. Whatever I said is like an antidote, like a medicine for people suffering. You know, So you recognizing it is the first step, you know. Then after that, you know the cost root of it. Then you set goals to it. But at the moment that you're already going through the pressure, don't make it worse by setting goals that you cannot even like get up to. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is
But that
a
goes,
cure.
More or less, because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I low-key agree with
Hold on.
Blacko?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with what you said, because at the end of the day, right, there it's a difference. I think you just need to specify exactly what kind of goals you're referring to.
Yeah.
Because there are short-term goals and there are long-term goals, right?
Yeah.
Long-term goals.
Exactly. So some, like, because you have short-term realistic goals doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot dream of your long-term realistic goals.
Yes.
I think that's what Blacko was trying to say.
Okay.
You're right. So
Okay.
both of you guys, there's
sir.
no right and wrong here. I think you just focus more on the, short-term goals, and he's more focused. All right.
Yeah.
If you have a broader vision, you can attain the broader vision no matter what you say, whether you have short-term goals or you don't.
Yeah,
because it doesn't matter. You could get there.
Because I was thinking you have to be strong to think about the long-term goals at the moment.
Strength is subjective. You know what I mean?
Very.
Strength is very subjective.
Yeah.
Because you're strong today doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be strong tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this kind of goes with my message, right, for the evening.
Okay.
At the end of the day, everybody, it's you versus you. Everything starts from you. How successful you become, it starts from a decision that you make today. Today, you decide to leave your bad habits behind, adds on to something positive in your life.
Yeah.
So again, to release the stress, stay prayed up, focus on yourself, focus on your goals, short term and long term, and have a support system.
Yeah.
Have a support community. That plays a big part, because if you're surrounded by negative people, the intrusive thoughts that you're going to have are going to be negative.
Yeah.
So surrounding yourself with the right people plays a big part on how your mind slowly develops, whether it's professionally, whether it's personal.
So what advice do you guys also have for people that are going through this pressure and they feel like they have to take in something, like, when you read
Depression, you mean?
No, I mean like
This pressure?
They're facing the pressure, but they're trying to take in something just to feel okay at the moment, like drugs, when you read and all that.
Seek community. There's power in community. There's also power in God, right? Whenever I feel the most amount of pressure that I probably could possibly feel, the first thing I do, I just like, you know what? It's harder to pray whenever things are tougher, believe it or not. Yeah. But the moment that you pray when things are tougher, I feel like that's the moment where I feel the most relief.
Yeah.
After praying, as seeking my community, I talk to my very close circle. I talk to my lady, talk to my parents, very supportive people that I have in my life, and they help me slowly release that pressure, so I don't have to rely on thinking of doing negative things that would affect my health.
So alcohol is not helpful.
It's not.
Drugs is not helpful. Whatever you call it, it's not.
Max Webler said, someone the other day said to always use the not yet operation. And this goes by saying you have not gotten that thing yet, or you don't know how to properly do something yet. Esther L said, never sacrifice your peace at the expense of your respect. I agree. Prince said, I agree with Blacko. Realistic has a negative connotation to it. Dreams are free, so go big. Max Webler said, and you should never tell yourself that you can never achieve it. It's just not done yet, or you haven't practiced it enough. That's why you haven't gotten it yet. Yep. In the right time, things will work out. And Corey Bryant says, surround yourself with people who want to see you win. And I would just leave by saying, in order to have the right mindset to be able to have this positive comparison that we kept talking about, you need to do a lot of self-work. You really need to, like they said, you really need to get to know yourself and do a you versus you, because if you don't know yourself, you're not going to know what goals that you actually want, and you're going to constantly feel the pressure of other people's goals on yourself. So you need to do the self-work. You need to practice gratitude. You need to journal. You need to really get to know yourself, so you know what you want for yourself and not feel pressure when you do accomplish those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming. This was a really great conversation. Thank you, Blacko, for staying with us. Thank you everybody in the comments. We really appreciate you, and we really hope to see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
y'all. See ya.
You will rise, moving with that wind like a kite. Brother, my mind is fortified. In my room all alone, I like to stay in my zone. And that's how I build my bones. Shall let that be my own? Life written like a poem. My wish I like moving on. No physical, my heart is home. My heart is so. Express your thoughts. I go express my own. If you express your own, I go express my thoughts. Express your thoughts. I go express my own. Make you express your own. I go express my thoughts. Express your thoughts. I go express my thoughts. Make you express your thoughts. I go express my thoughts. Yeah. I go express my thoughts.